Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm John.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Steve.
I just popped up the episode and I just saw the title now. The Empress
And you were
Dowager.
just asking about her.
I know.
See, this is how I know you watch ahead.
Yeah, okay.
You just happened to ask one episode before her
I've
episode.
been asking.
Yeah, right.
We always talk about how we never
even
see
mentioned her until the last episode.
Yeah, right. I didn't even know what a dowager was.
You don't.
No,
you
you
still
didn't.
don't know what. I don't.
No, yeah.
I'd never heard that word before. You've heard it before?
Yeah, only because if you watch like Game of Thrones and shit like that, they use it. It's like one of those words they used back then.
Yeah.
Well, so I was going to say, considering it's called the Empress Dowager, that makes me think we're going to get a little more off of what we saw in the last one with Jinshi.
Hopefully.
With that
because that was kind of confusing.
Yeah, I know we talked at length about it, but still, I still haven't been able to make sense of that. Oh, I almost forgot, and I wrote it down for a reason. When I was editing episode 21 today, Lihaku said to Jinshi, or when he was, remember when Jinshi was like trying to bribe him to like give him the money?
Yep.
In his head, Lihaku was saying, "Oh, this is Jinshi. He's rumored to be the Emperor's favorite." So that
favorite
tells
eunuch. That's what even.
Well, he didn't say eunuch, but I'm assuming.
But that's even Mao Mao in the last episode was just like he's definitely more than just the king's favorite eunuch or something like that.
Wait, well, the thing about Lihaku, he's obviously military, so he's from outside the rear palace, obviously. So that kind of goes to my thought, what I was saying. Like, I don't think it's confirmed that everyone, and I know we saw, I think Ariel on Patreon commented it, that it's not like everyone outside in the outer court or outside the rear palace believes that he is the Emperor's brother, because no one really sees the Emperor's brother. It's not like Jinshi goes there and goes out and parades as the Emperor's brother, you know?
Well, no, isn't it known that or was that just in the rear palace that the Emperor's brother was sick?
I know that I think is everywhere, because even in the outer, they say they don't see him ever because he's sick.
He's sick, right?
So that's like everyone thinks that. So that helped me clarify why I was like, well, how could the one side know and not the other, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I want to see her in her free ring get up again. With her staff. When she was doing the moon goddess thing.
Yeah. She's not going to do that anymore.
Of course not. Oh, what I would give to have a crossover between her and Freerin.
Imagine.
Oh.
That wouldn't even be fair for Mao Mao because Freerin's like fucking 1,500 years old. And she's into like weird stuff like that too.
That's what I'm saying. They would definitely get along.
Oh, they'd get along. I know, but like.
Be so fun.
Mao Mao would just be in awe of all that Freerin knows. Plus then the magic.
I just noticed there in the intro when they show like a bunch of them going through a bunch of doors. And that makes from the last one. It was a great episode, the last one.
It really was really good.
Let's see if this one can top it. Is that her? Gotta be.
Who?
Dowager.
When she was young?
No, she is young. Youngish.
そのうち本人様に部屋を追い出されて物置小屋に移されちゃうわよ。
Yeah, right.
それはいいですね。物置小屋なら今の部屋より広いし、夜中に音を立てて。
ママ
Make noise.
ありだな。そうと決まれば急ぎましょう。早く帰って本人様に打診しない。
He's trying to get kicked out. Oh man, look at all this.
これは
Look at that little smile she's got.
しっかり反省なさい。
本人様。
ありがとうございます。ここに薬草を干して、ここで跳躍をして、ここはあれで、あれはここで。だから言ったじゃないですか。意味ないって。物置小屋、信じられない。本にゃん様に告げ口するなんてさすがにひどいんじゃない？いいわ。私じゃないわよ。マオマオが自分で本にゃん様に打診したのよ。ねえマオマオ。
はい。
でも変な女官が笑いながら虫を捕まえているって噂になってるわ
Yeah,
よ。
it's the other girl.
そんなことはしていません。
Bug girl.
確かに仕事で顔を集めてたけど、笑いながら虫を取るなんて。
She's like, if she give me a bad rap.
有識事態である。
大変皮膚炎にはい
Xiaolan?
止水。最近見かけた？
Just sweet.
ね。あ あの子神出鬼没だからな。
シャオランのように誰にでも分け隔てなく接する子の方が珍しいんだよな。何か釣れるものは
Little broad.
これは詳しいお話次第ではこれを差し上げるんですけど。
Oh, that nice, yeah.
血が出ているぞ。
聞いた話だと北の雑木林によくいるそうだけど、確か前にもこの辺であったな。
Oh, she just shows up places.
Yeah, right.
流行りを持ってくればよかったな。
Just forgot her off.
小さい頃はよく妓女たちとおしろい花の種を取りに行ったんだよな。中の粉をおしろいとして使うためじゃなくて堕胎剤を作るために。妓女たちの作る堕胎剤にはおしろい花の他にほおずきやボタン、ホウセンカや芍薬、水銀などを使う。水銀はともかく他は高級内でも
So I say, where the hell do you get
手に入る
mercury from?
高級の中にあるのに真
It was a
は
long
堕胎
time
剤
ago
の
though
材料
too,
を
so
キャラバンが持ち込んだもので揃えていた。つまり薬の知識のない真に毒の作り方を教えた人間がいる。
Sure.
おそらくその人物はまだ高級内に。
Or do you think this girl's like involved somehow? I don't think so, but she's too like happy-go-lucky.
She's just chasing bugs, man.
あんなのと一緒にされていたなんて不信外だな。
Mao Mao, you have though your moments.
Yeah. You're just the same for different things.
Yep. Oh.
止水どいてくれると嬉しいんだけど。
ごめんね、マオマオ。
別に。その虫を捕まえようとしたの？相当虫が好きなんだ
What
な。
does she do with them?
She collects them. We're about to find out.
この虫は東方の島国に生息している虫で、羽を持ってなかったんだ。
This is exactly what Mao Mao does with plants and herbs.
きっと前に捕まえたガみたいにここにしか自生していないと思うよ。ちょっと色がゴキブリに似てるけど違う生き物だから大丈夫だよ。それでね、それでね。
聞かなきゃよかった。
Uh-oh.
何の音だ？
Dowager coming through. Look at that umbrella.
あれは確か皇太后様。昨年の園遊会で見かけたけど。
That's
本当に
his
わかんない
wife right then, right? The Dowager's
that-
the wife?
No, that's the Emperor's mom.
Oh.
優しい方なんだよね、皇太后様は。
Is she?
それに宦官や奴隷の制度が禁止になったのも、皇太后様の口添えがあったんだって。
皇太后様が診療所に向かっているのは先日の水晶宮の一件と何か関係があるのだろうか。
Probably.
皇太后様が乗り出すなら高級の医療体制に改革が起こるかもしれない。そんな話ならぜひ聞きたいが。やっぱ帰る。最近怒らせてばかりだからな。
いつもより念入りに誇り一つ残さないでね。
Does that mean Dowager's coming here, maybe?
誰
Probably.
か来るのか。
Mm-hmm.
お久しぶりです、アンシ様。
Ansi. Anshi.
Thank you.
What?
You forgot the H.
様だった。
No, I didn't hear her say it at first.
体に変わりはなくて。
お気遣いありがとうございます。
あなた確か人士のもとより手配された次女よね。
はい、そうですが。
Look at her, she got all
なぜ
dolled
知っ
up
て
too.
る？
睡蓮から聞いたの。しごきがいのある子が高級に戻ったって。睡蓮は昔
Is that the older lady?
私の次女をしていたのよ。
I think so.
なるほど。
Oh, no, it was her.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
I was one of the one from the clinic.
Oh.
Or wherever that was, I forget.
アンシ様、申し訳ありませんが、リンリーが疲れたようなので、
寝かしつけてきてもよろしいでしょうか。ええ、いいわよ。察しのいい子ね。本当に。
Oh, she wanted to talk just to her.
さあ、そこにおかけなさい。
はい。
あなた、
Why does that even surprise us
いろいろな
anymore?
問題ごとを解決しているそうね。
You're a detective, I hear.
私は自分が持っている知識の中で状況に当て
She's so
はまる
modest.
ものを提示しているだけです。否定的に聞こえただろうか。しかし突飛な想像力もなければ親父のような博識さもない。
You're getting there.
わかる範囲でいいの。調べてもらいたいのよ。
Tell us.
私は先の帝に呪いをかけたのかしら。
What the? It's an odd request. Mao Mao's pragmatic, so she's obviously gonna be like, well, no, you didn't.
Right, it's not a curse, but
There might be something.
皇太后様の腹には傷がある。今の帝を出産される際、まだ体が育ちきっていなかった皇太后様は腹を切るしかなかったのだ。
Jesus.
そしてその出産を手伝うためにわざわざ宦官にさせられたのが不幸な我が親父
Naturally.
ルオーメンだ。そんな犠牲を払ったためか元帝は元気に育ち、
It's funny how much
皇
Mao
太
Mao
后
and her
様
dad
は
are
その
tied
後
into
皇
these
帝を出産した。
people.
皇帝の年齢は確か私の一つ上。出産した時の皇太后様はみそじ前。とうに少女とは言えない年齢だ。となると王帝は本当に先帝の子なのか。うわ、こんなこと口にしたら打ち首にされかねない。
She always thinks like for a second and then stops.
玉葉様の妊娠は公然の秘密だが、面と向かっての茶会であればあからさまな探りを入れられることもある。ただリファ妃はあえて自分に飛び火するような質問はしないだろう。それにもともと気ぐらいの高いリファ妃は相手を貶めることはしない。玉葉様としてもより血統の尊いリファ妃と喧嘩するのは賢い選択ではない。
And some other big things.
あるとすればローラン妃。
The wild
服
card.
装が派手なこと以外不思議なほど噂が回ってこない。
That makes her dangerous, though. We don't know what she's up to.
また何か問題を持ち込まれているの？
私は先の帝に呪いをかけたのかしら。
Yeah, she did. She just asked her
できれ
that
ば
question
も
and
っ
like
と
think about it.
違う場所で話をしたいわ。
別にいいわ。どうせ言えないことでしょうから。ただし、玉葉様を裏切るような真似はしないでちょうだいね。
ホニャン様を敵に回したくはありません。
ならいいわ。私もマオマオとはいい関係でいたいもの。
I like her
そうですね。
her devotion
ホ
to
ニャン
Gyoko.
様、やはり玉葉様の知女頭なだけある。
ここです。先へは入れません。この先は掃除の者も入室を許可されておりませんので。
なんだこの匂い。この部屋は
Is this like the last
先の
emperor's like
先の
room or
帝の
something?
時代、女官から下級の妃になった方が住んでいた場所です。女帝と呼ばれた方の部屋であり、先帝が育まれた場所でもあり、見まかられた場所でもあ
Right,
りま
okay.
す。
Yeah.
場所を変えましょう。
Wonder why she showed her that if she can't go in.
She's just showing her everything, I guess.
何か呪いがかかったという根拠はあるのですか？
玉抜けされた先帝のお体は1年間霊廟にて安置されます。翌年、主上と安子様は先帝を埋葬するため ご遺体をご覧になったのですが、ご遺体は亡くなられた時とほぼ同じ姿で残っていたのです。
つまり腐ってなかったということ
How
ですか。
long after did they say?
A year.
同時期に亡くなられた女帝はとても
It's gonna end up being something that was in the coffin or in the room that kept him preserved.
もうじきあの胸は取り壊されます。それまでに調べてもらいたいのです。
わかりました。ただし一つお願いがあります。
お願い？
Of course they're not gonna tell us. Why would they? Oh, was that the end already?
What do you think the request is? She wants to go in that room?
Maybe. What did she? Where did she, was she saying the mausoleum is where they want her to look? Because what place did she mean right there? You know what I mean?
Maybe that whole building.
That whole area. That's maybe yeah, that building. So I'm assuming that building, as in the one they were just looking at, right?
Either
or
that
the mausoleum.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why they would tear the mausoleum down.
I don't know
there.
why they would either.
That doesn't seem like that would be something they would do. For some reason, that's not who. Like, I wasn't expecting the Dowager to be like that. I thought she was going to be more
tough,
or not even tough, but like more of like a bad-looking figure. Not bad, like
people were afraid of her though.
Yes, I mean I think they still are.
Like
but,
she wasn't just going there sipping tea, holding
right,
the baby.
Yeah. But it also that helps make sense of what we saw in the last one with the past emperor when he was older and he was trying to get to Jinshi as a kid and tell him something, you know? That's going to be... I think this is where Mao Mao might start to figure something out with him by investigating into this. You know what I mean? Because this is where... If she's going to find a clue anywhere that's going to help her look that way, it's going to be doing this in this area, I would assume, right? Because this is where Jinshi grew up, theoretically. Yeah, because if he was around the past emperor, then yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, this is where the past emperor... No, this is where the current emperor grew up.
No, that's where they said the past emperor spent most of his time. And then where he died. Him and the emperor spent a lot of their time in that room, and then he died in that room. So I think then that's... I think Mao Mao's going to get even closer. And what did she say? She said it really fast. You know what part I'm talking about.
Too, yeah, because she said, does that mean the son of the Dao?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly.
The
right here.
King is the emperor's brother?
Is the imperial brother really the son of the previous emperor?
Why is she questioning that?
Can you understand? I still don't really quite get it. Like, what made her ask that question? I'm assuming it has something to do with her age.
I think it's because he liked little girls.
And I was wrong. She's obviously probably more in her 40s now.
Yeah, because she was in her 30s then.
When the brother was born. She said, okay, yeah, you're right.
She's saying, like, he wouldn't have had a child with her.
Another one, yeah, after the emperor, right.
Because her first child, she
obviously
was
not
underage.
That's what she meant by obviously not a little girl anymore. Okay, I for some reason I thought when she said that I thought she was talking about her now, like currently, you know, for some reason.
When she gave birth
to the brother.
Really,
yeah.
The son. Okay, so right.
And when I read that, I wasn't reading it as her asking that question out loud to herself. You know what I mean? I was taking that as like, I don't know. I took it differently for some reason, but now it makes way more sense. But you're definitely right. It's because she was like, why, if he was into younger girls, why would he have another kid with her?
Right.
Yeah, she's 100% figuring it out.
I think she's going to be more surprised that if it is Jinshi, that he's only 1 year older than her.
Well, because he's pretending to be what, like 24 or something like that?
I don't know how old he's pretending. I think maybe
I think that's what he said to Gaoshin. He said Jinshi, this character of Jinshi is... So Jinshi's not his real name then, right? Obviously.
Could be.
Yeah, I guess it could be, but I don't know. It was just when he was talking to Gaoshin, he was like, way back when, he was like, when they were drinking the stuff.
Yeah, he's like, the character.
The character of Jinshi, yeah, is 24, is this eunuch. But he's really 19, right?
I think so.
So Mao Mao's like 17, 18, right? Yeah. Because we've been with her for over a year now, right? I would assume. Certainly
I forget her first stint was like
6 months.
Was it?
I'm asking.
I don't know if it was less than that or not. Because she got kicked out early, don't forget.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of it, like, how much time went by from when she got kidnapped?
Well, she was sold right there, I thought.
Well, no, yes, I mean, in terms of, like you said, the first term.
It was only a couple months, though.
It wasn't as long as we had thought.
No. We could say 6, but I actually thought it might have even been less. But we could say 6. And
So it's
then,
probably been close to a year, though.
I
All
would
in
say
all.
we're coming up on a year. Because didn't they just have another garden party?
That does sound vaguely
I
familiar.
just don't know if they have multiple in a year. They might, but
I feel like they did mention it, and we just didn't go to it. No, yeah, they was it the garden party where she brought the roses? With Jinshi brought the blue roses. Was that what that was? Yeah, I think
Might
that's
have
what that
been.
was for.
yeah. So I don't know if they have multiple in a year or if that was like the next one, the following year.
I think they're kind of random. Like whenever the emperor wants to have one. I think, but I could be wrong.
But yeah, like they're even showing Jinshi in this picture.
I know, like, that's clearly him. Well, no. Yes, yeah, right, yeah.
That's him.
I wonder why. Like, what was the past emperor trying to tell him as a young kid? Just the fact that you're not really my son.
When he was running up there.
When the old emperor was trying to get to
I've
Jinshi.
kind of felt like that was when they told him, like when they made the switch, right? Because then he was just like, from then on, like the man I was told. They told me that he was my father, and like.
Yeah, I just want to see that one part again where when he was talking about it.
See, he didn't know who they were yet. They told him after that.
Right.
Maybe he was coming because he had just lost his son.
Yeah. Again, I think the confusing part is we keep trying to base it off of what Mao's original hypothesis was, which isn't. It is accurate, but it's just slightly off. Because Mao was thinking the babies got swapped, but there was no baby swap.
Right.
Right? Well, no, there had to have been, because if no,
because he thought the emperor was the current
I know, but
emperor
what I'm
was
saying
his
is,
dad up until that point.
then how did Feng Ming not know that wasn't actually Duo's kid that she killed? If it was only a year old, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know. This kid Jinshi being so old when they told him that is really fucking me up.
Me too. That's exactly me too. Because Feng Ming was under the impression that she killed Duo's child, when in reality
this could be
she
even
didn't.
deeper. There could be multiple points of trickery going on.
Well, definitely, it's definitely a possibility.
Like maybe the emperor and them didn't want anyone to know anything, so they tricked even like the ladies in waiting.
It's tough to say because we have no idea what Duo and the emperor know.
I know.
I wonder if we ever see her again. I got to assume we will.
I don't know where, like, if you leave the rear palace, where do you go? Do you stay in like the?
I feel like they told us. I just don't remember.
Do you just
I think
go
you
wherever
stay
want, or you
inside.
stay in like you go to like to the inner court or some shit like that?
They definitely told us that they were like retired to some different area. I forget.
So yeah, I mean, if she's not that far, like maybe there's a chance. Mama
I
has
mean,
to
and
go ask her or
if she's
something.
actually Jinshi's
or Jinshi
mom,
goes to see her.
if he
So then
finds
the
out,
dowager
is really just the mother of the emperor, and her baby would have.
is the mother of the emperor, right? But
Wait, all right, no. So that
she would have given birth.
Well, don't
She would have
forget
been the one that gave birth to.
the brother. But there was, if Mao's correct, and he was only into younger girls, they would have never had another baby. You know what I'm saying, right? If he was only into younger girls,
Well, the only way would be if it. Well, no, there could have been another baby, just
not with her.
right, which could explain maybe the dowager was in on not the swapping, on the killing.
Well, no.
Not in on it, but like knew.
Regardless, that there was the baby that died, that was supposedly supposed to be hers, and the emperor's at the time, was killed by Feng Ming accidentally. We know that to be a fact because we saw that.
Okay.
Then there's no foul play there.
What do you mean?
The dowager couldn't be behind the baby dying.
No, not behind it, but knew of it or told Feng Ming to do it.
Well, no, because Feng Ming clearly, that's what I'm saying. We saw that she did it by accident.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I guess you figured the past emperor obviously had multiple concubines as well. We know for such because he obviously got Li Shu when she was really young.
Yeah, really, really young.
Well,
Isn't she still like 14?
Yeah, but I don't think I think like she was given to the emperor like right before he died, probably.
Maybe.
But regardless,
that's what he likes.
Maybe that's what we're missing there. He had a baby with somebody else.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said.
No, I know. I'm just double counting on it. That's got to be what it is.
Yeah, there's definitely another baby, but
I'm glad Mao dropped that
why
little
give
tidbit
it?
of info.
I guess give it because they're. I don't know, man.
Well, maybe that's where the dowager did have a hand. Never mind. Every time I think I have a good idea, I get confused again.
All right.
Because what I was going to say was maybe the Dowager took the baby from, like, something happened when whatever concubine had the baby. Maybe she died or something happened and she took the baby and then was behind the swap with Duo. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
Yeah.
Even that doesn't really make sense to me.
We don't think there was a swap.
No. But there had to have been because...
maybe there wasn't a swap. That's what we're saying. Maybe there wasn't a swap. Maybe to just keep up appearances.
No, you're right.
Because they said the baby died when it was 1.
Well, a baby did die. We know that for a fact. So...
But we don't
know where that baby came from.
I thought it was known that it wasn't known that the other kings, that the emperor's kid died when it was 1. I think it is.
But that's everyone thinks the baby that was supposed to be Jinshi
maybe
died.
the baby, they just had a baby die,
and they said it was actually.
They said it was
Jinshi. It was the current emperor's and Duo's son.
And then they gave Jinshi to the emperor because he had lost his son or some shit like that.
Well, they never gave him to him. They just told him he grew up the whole time thinking that the current emperor was his dad, and then out of nowhere they just told him that those two were his parents, or his grandmother and his father.
Right.
So he was never with, like you said before earlier, he never even knew who the current.
He didn't know who they were.
No.
But then I don't know and then I'm guessing he didn't even go with them.
Well, he was never sent with them. I don't think.
That's what I mean. I don't know if from that point forward he stayed with them.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it because he's still fairly close to the emperor now.
Right.
I don't know, man. This whole thing has really gotten us.
I know. This is why I like this show, though. It's making me really trying to figure shit out.
Yeah. Hopefully we find out this season.
Like I said before, I'm glad Mao Mao like dropped that little tidbit of, he was only into young. Like her reminding us, like he was only into younger women. He wouldn't have it. Like I'm like, and then it gave us some more things to think about.
Well, then she froze up. I was like, huh. Saying that out loud would get me beheaded.
Lose my head. All right. We yabbered enough.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.
See you later.